I'm Dorothy Wong. I'm a marriage counselor and I've been in the business for over 30 years. And repeatedly, a lot of parents come to me and ask me about which school they should put their children in. And recently, there's a big idea of whether they should switch their kids from local school to international school. I'm not an expert in this area, but I decided to find my good friend, my mentor, Dr. Rosann Kao. So let her introduce herself so that you know why she's the expert in this area.
Well, hello, friends, and thank you, Dorothy. Yes, I too have worked for many, many years. Dorothy and I have worked on projects together. I'm a teacher, a counselor, and I'm very, very involved in educational issues in Hong Kong for a long time. This question of a local school and an international school is a complicated set of issues. And for families trying to decide which is best for their kids, there's a lot of questions that we should talk about. And your questions too, of course. Yeah.
And we are going to have 6 videos to talk about this thing. Because it's going to affect your children, and I think it also affects the parents.
Very much so.
Right. Imagine if you choose the wrong school, it's going to create many problems. So, Rosann, let me ask you, from your experience, when the parents decide to switch or just put their kids into international school, are they the only people involved in this decision-making process?
Oh, okay. It's not one decision.
Okay.
Because our children have one parent, 2 parents, some grandparents.
Grandparents.
And people are interested. We have small families these days. We don't have 6 or 7. We have 1 or 2 children. And the question is, who decides? Well, relax. We're going to start talking about it. And one of the first issues that comes up is the grandparents have been educated with Chinese language being the medium of education in the schools. When one thinks about an international school, all the classes are English language instruction. So that puts the grandparents very far away from the kids. But the parents are saying, we want our kid to be able to survive in this very modern world. Many parents say, we'll teach the Chinese language at home. They will learn Chinese language at home. So, yes, all day learning English is a good idea. Wow, that's a lot for families to decide. Do you want that to happen? How will the child change? How will the child adjust before they change to Chinese at home and English in school? Now, many Hong Kong youngsters do this all the time. But if it's your child, and if that child is fairly young, then you're looking at your 6-year-old, your 8-year-old saying, should we do this? Should we do this? So everybody in the family, and maybe even the next door neighbor, has an opinion what you should do.
You know, when you just said the issue with the grandparents, I immediately have an experience. One of my clients, the parents are in their 40s, late 40s, and they just have two children. And the elder one already go to a local Band 1 school, so no issue at all. But then they have a younger kid, and they're thinking of maybe I should switch them to international school. But the issue, exactly like what you said just now, the grandfather said, I cannot teach them any English. My English is only primary school experience, right? All the way up to primary school. So if my grandchild wants to talk to me, and in English, I don't know what he's talking about. So why change to an international school? So actually create quite a tension.
Oh, and you know, our children can absorb the tension. Even if you think they're not in the same room, they know, mommy and daddy are thinking, mommy wants this and daddy wants that. So we got to remember who is the child in all of this. So it's a long series of decisions, not just one decision, and there are many people involved.
So there are so many, stakeholders.
Yes, that's true. Good word. Stakeholders, yes.
And then if the parents still decided to go for international school, I think they will definitely need to go do some research, right?
Oh,
And
yes.
what kind of research you recommend the parents to do in order to make a better decision for the child?
Okay, first, folks, you got to do as much as you can. Talk to your friends. If you have any friends who have children already enrolled in an international school, talk to them. If you have friends in 2 different schools, you will find out not all the international schools are the same.
Okay.
So talk to as many people who have first-hand knowledge. But then get on Google. Go for every school you think of. Look at that school's website. It will tell you what the application process is, the times that you can apply, the average class size, what are the advantages of that school. And you think, advantages? Why is that important? Because schools are different. Some have a big outdoor playground, some don't. Some have a swimming pool, some don't. Some feature field trips and camping, some don't. And so, what are you looking for? Go look at the website of every school that interests you and see, what is this school offering?
So getting all the information, we sort of like a, how to say, mix and match. So
Yes.
now we need to reconsider the uniqueness of our own children,
That's
our
right.
child, and see if what school offer the most that fit into your kid's style
Yes.
or learning style, or
Yes.
maybe if he's a very physical, enjoys sports, make sure there's a big soccer field, that kind of combination.
Yes, big soccer field, and that the school encourages the 6, 7, and 8-year-olds to go onto the field.
Okay.
Not just the big kids.
Okay.
So you have to think,
Yes.
you look at this older child, younger child, or first child, what kind of person? Maybe they don't even have a learning style yet, but are they one who, is it a child who likes to be with other kids? Or it is a child who really likes playing with Lego all day long.
all
Just
right.
leave him alone. He likes his Lego. So we have to know our child, and then we want to look at what the schools have to offer.
Okay.
So it's back at the balance.
All right.
The balance,
Well,
yes.
now I begin to understand why we have professional like Rosann as an education consultant to help the parents to really look into all this information.
Yes.
Right. I
Yes.
mean, so easy to get tons and tons of information from the website. But whether those information are appropriate for your kids, it's a 2 different thing, right? And
Yes.
yeah, we need to
Yeah.
spend the time. We need to think what our kids need, but this is like the first step. When you
Yes.
think of putting your kids to an international school, maybe
Right.
this is
Very
the
true.
first step. So I'm a very practical person, Rosann.
All right.
My experience is when we think of going to international school, it costs a lot of money.
That's true.
All this debenture
Yes.
and all this like high tuition fee, and there's all this expensive field trip. Do you think it's a good idea that next time we start with something more practical?
All right.
Yeah.
Next time, more practical.
More practical.
Yes.
We are going to talk about what we need to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The costs and the expenses.
Cost of expenses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that will be good.
See all of
Yeah.
you next time.
Okay.